Hey everybody, it's Christina Quick, the Tarot Biz Mentor here from the Profitable Psychic Business Academy. Welcome to today's video. So if you're watching this video, you probably have an interest in astrology, and more specifically in lunar astrology or the astrology of the moon phases. The moon is one of the first real key entry points in our natal chart. So most everybody's familiar with their sun sign, all the horoscopes are based off of it, but the moon sign is probably the place that most people go next. And astrology itself is a really, really vast topic. It can look kind of, simple when you're looking at a chart for the first time, but there are a lot of nuances to it. And so today, I want to talk about the different aspects or nuances of your moon sign that you can look into to go deeper into that type of astrology. What I have learned through doing divine life purpose readings, so that's what I started out doing. I started out doing this probably 2012 to 2014 is when I first really kind of started reading. And then 2014 is when I started getting more into spiritual life coaching. And at that time, I was doing divine life purpose readings, which were a specific kind of reading that I would do that would encompass the natal chart, the sun and the moon sign. It would encompass the person's life path number and also a tarot card or oracle card reading. Now, when I used to do those, what I have really learned, especially when it comes to understanding our life's purpose or our higher calling, you'll see in a lot of my work that I actually talk about that a lot. And I have a quiz that you can take. It's called Discover Your Soul's Calling. And it will reveal the 4 archetypes that I tend to work with the most, that tend to be attracted to becoming a professional psychic or a professional spiritual life coach. And so that link will be down in the description box below. But one thing I learned after doing those readings for so long is that the moon and the sun very much work in harmony, right? And the sun has a lot to do with our outward purpose, kind of how we fit in with everybody else. And it has a lot to do with how we express our purpose on an outward level, our kind of place in the world, our place in society, the things that we are known for. And then our moon talks to us about our intuition and our psychic abilities, but it also talks to us about our inwards work, the persona that we are on the inside, our truest self, right? And so the moon reflects our intuitive gifts. It reflects our psychic abilities. And so if you plan on becoming a professional psychic, or you are a professional psychic, or you want to use your psychic abilities in any professional capacity in any type of career or job, then understanding your moon sign is going to be very, very important for you. Now, one of the best things I love about working with lunar astrology is that it's really easy to understand astrology and get your feet wet with astrology when you work with the moon, because the moon is going to orbit the Earth within 30 days. So it's very easy to see the transitions and the transits as they happen, the lunar phases. Whereas, you're working with the sun, that's going to go through the 12 signs in a year. So it's a little bit of a slower process. So working with the moon is really interesting because it gives us a chance to become more immersed in astrology itself. Now, there are different aspects to the moon, and today I'm not going to talk about all of them, but I am going to talk about 4 of the key aspects that I think is really important for you to look into when you're starting to study your moon sign. So the first area is to understand what sign that your moon is in. That's kind of the first place that we all go to. And what sign that your moon is in is going to have some type of archetype or story attached to that. And it's going to have different strengths and weaknesses and shadows and gifts and things like that, all tied into those specific signs. Now, you can go online and you can type into Google or whatever a search engine that you like, that you can type in what is my moon sign or how to calculate my moon sign. And you can do that. Or you can go to like any free natal chart generators online, like Astro Cafe or AstroSeek or Cafe Astrology. Okay, there's quite a few of them. A Lab, there's quite a few out there. And they're all going to tell you a little bit something different. I personally really like Cafe Astrology. I think that they have some really good information. And so, the first point of entry when understanding your moon sign is to understand the zodiac sign that goes along with that and the house that it is in. That is really important because the house is going to tell you where in your life, in your wheel of your life, your career, your family, your children, your partnerships, your job, other aspects, your higher education, all of those zodiac signs belong to a specific house. And it's going to tell you, once you understand what your moon sign is and in what house, what area of your life that is going to be highlighting the most, or what area of your life is going to be on theme a lot when it comes to your psychic abilities, intuitive gifts. So if you're struggling to figure out where to niche your psychic abilities, that might be a good place to look. So the next places that you want to look is the moon phase that you were born on, and you'll need your time of birth for that. You'll need your time of birth for your moon sometimes too. It just depends on the lunar day. So what you can do if you don't know your time of birth, what you can do is you can look on the day and see when that lunar phase transitioned at what specific time, and then you can ask, maybe was I born in the morning or the evening, and that might give you a clue. It might also just look at the archetypes and read them and see which one feels more like you, and that's okay too. If you do astrology intuitively because you don't have access to things like your birth time, that's totally fine to do that. But the moon phases are important too because that will give you extra nuance about your own personality. Like, for example, someone who is born on a new or a waxing moon tends to be more extroverted, more outgoing, rather than someone, say, born on a waning moon or a dark moon, or dark, full from dark moon. They might be a little bit more introverted. Okay, so that will give you a lot of nuance and clues about your moon sign there. The last place I'm going to talk about is to see if there are any like events that happened, like a lunar eclipse or a blue moon. A blue moon is two full moons in a lunar one calendar solar month, or a black moon, which is two new moons in a one calendar solar month. Or even, did I say eclipses? Eclipses, super moons, micro moons. Okay, these all have different nuance and meaning. So people, like, say, for example, people born on or around lunar eclipses tend to go through a lot of upheaval and change earlier in their life. People that are born under a full moon tend to be really lucky types of people. They tend to be also people that are in the public eye a lot, that are seen a lot, these types of things. Oh, and one more place you can look too is your north and your south nodes. So your north and your south nodes are not specific points in your chart, but they are points where the moon was furthest and closest to in the orbit around the Earth. Does that make sense? The closest to the sun in orbit around the Earth. Okay, because the lunar orbit is kind of egg shaped, and we talk about this in my new course, Moon Marketing Magic. This is where I go a little bit more in depth into this sort of thing, and talk about this more from an astronomical point of view. And so your north and your south nodes are, your north node is your fate or your destiny. It's what you are going to transmute and transform into. It is like your higher calling. And then your south node is going to be your karma. So the way I look at it is your north node is your dharma. It's kind of like what you were born to do, and then your south node is your karma, and that's like the karma that has followed you with past lives, the things that you have done in life that have the consequences of those things, the consequences of decisions that your family made for you, and things like that. So These are some really key places to look in your moon sign. So, your lunar astrology is a lot more than just the sign. So, I do invite you to check that out and see what it has for you in regards to your psychic abilities. I also want to take a moment to invite you to my new course. So I'm working on the live edition right now. You're welcome to come in. If you're watching this in the future, then that means all of the videos are done and you can start watching it on demand. But what it is I've devised a 30-day content calendar for professional psychics or people who desire to be professional spiritual life coaches. And so, what I've done is I've designed this calendar around the lunar phases. So, it will tell you and it will go based on the energy of the lunar phases what we do today. So, some certain things that we talk about is when to send out newsletters, when to put on sales, when to host live events, when to close your cart down, or when to add urgency into your marketing. So, all of these things that are really important to having a really solid marketing strategy, I've kind of boiled it all down and made it into something really interesting and spectacular in Moon Marketing Magic. Very easy, anybody can do this. And if you're looking for a way to rein in your marketing strategy and be more consistent, show up more consistently, then check out the link below, or you can go to moonmarketingmagic.com. I will see you in the next video.